your mayor, Joe Souchere.
GLer, say hello to the traveling Lymans who are live in studio. Here's the sheet, this day in Minnesota history, but I can't read it now. It's at the end of every show. It's Tom Lyman and Jessica Lyman.
Wait a minute, were they hand-delivered today?
No.
Well,
They could have been, but they came by email. Tom and Jessica, tell us what you've been doing with your life.
Back in 2012, Jess was already retired, and I was going to retire on Halloween 2012. So in January of 2012, one Sunday morning, I'm reading the paper, have the TV on, and she comes in and she says, "What are you going to do in 9 or 10 months? You can't sit in that chair for the rest of your life."
Right.
And I turned down the corner of the newspaper. I looked at her and I said, "Maybe we should travel the world." She left the room. I thought I won.
Yeah.
I went to work the next week. Next Sunday, I'm watching the TV, reading the paper. She comes in, put that paper down, turned the TV off.
And I'd spent a week with an Excel spreadsheet trying to figure out how we could make this work. He said, travel the world. I said, okay, let's do it. So I did the numbers and it worked out. And the only way we figured we could do it and make it affordable and be able to live nicely was to sell everything we owned.
Oh, man.
perfect.
Everything. We have no storage. We have no house or apartment or no family member's house that we have any
Do
belongings.
you have kids?
We have kids, but they're old.
So you sold the house.
We sold the house.
Where were you, in Eden Prairie?
We're in Chanhassen.
Chanhassen?
So we sold
Lake Minnewaska.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What did you retire from, Tom?
I worked for Burlington Northern Railroad 42 and a half years.
Yep.
I was on the train, so I got to wave and smile
Yeah.
looking out of a caboose or a
Oh,
locomotive.
cool.
Jessica,
Awesome.
what did you retire from?
I owned a real estate company
Okay.
most of my career.
Now, why are you home suddenly? How many years have you been gone?
Almost, in Halloween, it's 10 years.
10 years?
What?
Wow.
When did you start sending me on this day in Minnesota history and why? And then I'll tell you why I asked that in a moment.
I used to send them sporadically to
Yep.
you if it was something about Hubbard or St. Paul.
Right.
But when we were stuck in India for those 10 months,
Right.
I start sending them to you every day, and then you start reading them because you used to say all the way from Mumbai.
Right. Because it's something you would do on a radio station in Crookston. It's just the corniest thing in the world.
Exactly.
But you gave it new life because these were coming to us from God knows where, Mumbai, and then Marloth Park and Mpumalanga. And so you weren't doing it during the first part of your 10 years of travel.
No, it was sporadic once in a while. When I'd look at it, if there was something about, like when Hubbard started,
Right,
right.
right.
I'd send you that little,
Right. Right.
But when we spent 10 months in lockdown in a hotel room, a Marriott hotel right near the airport in Mumbai, there wasn't a whole lot to do. So time kind of started thinking, oh, I'll start sending this every day.
Yeah. Well, now it's just become an integral part of the show. We just close the damn show with it. It's just because it's so fun where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Where are you off
To the point where he gets critical of something or little happening in the state.
Yeah.
Nothing happened
Damn it,
today.
nothing happened today at this stage. Where are you, where have you not been?
Well, we've been to all 7 continents,
Okay.
including Antarctica.
Really?
Yes, which was amazing. One of our favorite things. We went on a small ship with about 160 passengers. And twice a day we got off the ship and went in little Zodiac boats to go out to the islands.
Wow.
And at different points we were standing on an island with 1 million penguins.
Really?
It was unbelievable. Just an amazing
a lot of
experience.
penguin dung on the ice.
I bet.
But so that was really kind of like the topping it off. That's a once in a lifetime experience. But we've been to a lot of countries. We don't really worry about how many numbers of countries we've been to. We just kind of focus on what appeals to us. And we love nature and wildlife and interesting culture.
And how long are you in town on this trip?
2 weeks here in Minnesota, and then we're going to go to Nevada and visit another kid we used to have.
Okay. And then from Nevada, where do you go?
We're going back
Back to Pumalanga.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we are going back. It's been really, COVID has put a tremendous impact on our travels. It's one thing if you go on a vacation for 2 weeks, but for us, where we go and stay somewhere for a month or two, it really has an impact on how we can live comfortably within that environment. So we found that staying in Africa right now, till things with COVID settle down more, is kind of a good base for us to use.
Explain what happened to you in Mumbai.
We went there at the end of January 2019. we were.
That's pre-COVID.
Yep. And we got there. We went on a train that we booked, a week-long train from.
Kind of like the Orient Express, but it was called the Maharaja Express.
All right.
Wow.
And then after that, did that for a week, and then we had arranged a private tour of India with a driver, with the two of us, for 56 nights. And we started, and it was really fun. We were in this nice car, this Lexus that had Wi-Fi, and nice driver with the hat, and very inexpensive compared to a tour in other countries. And we started touring India, but after about, when was
Well,
it?
it was March when COVID hit and things started closing down. We were supposed to be there until the first week in April because we were going to get a cruise from Mumbai to the UK.
Okay, now March of 20, are you talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
And then when things closed down, we flew back to Mumbai, going to leave, and we on March 20th, we went to the airport. We had a flight booked from
In the
Mumbai.
middle of the night. In the middle
Yeah,
of the
red eye, and fly from Mumbai to Joburg by way of Kenya, and nobody was wearing masks yet at the airport.
Right.
And it took us a couple hours to get up to the front counter, and then we put our luggage on the thing. They never took the luggage. And about 30, 45 minutes, they're hitting the computers, checking everything. And they come back and they said, South Africa just closed their borders. You cannot get on the plane.
Wow.
So we had to take our luggage, and we went back to the hotel we just checked out of. And then we checked back in for 3 days, and they closed.
And then after 3 days, they told us that we had to leave because they were closing. So they said they'd arranged another hotel for us. So we went to this other hotel. We get to this other hotel. They said, we don't know anything about you.
Oh,
We're
no.
closing tomorrow morning. There we are with all our bags. Well, we don't have a lot of bags, but they're heavy, you know.
Yeah,
And we have nowhere to go. And the only hotels that are available are COVID hotels where they have patients because all the hospitals were
We're
full.
full. Sure.
Oh, wow.
So this one wonderful concierge at the Orchid Hotel in Mumbai, he was amazing. He stayed on the phone for hours calling every hotel in town, found us a Courtyard by Marriott, which is very different than the Courtyard by Marriott's here.
I
Big,
bet.
beautiful, phenomenal hotel. Said that they were staying open at the moment. So we went and checked in there. And when we checked in there were 330 rooms in that hotel, and there were 6 of us.
Paying customers.
Paying customers.
I don't
For
know how they
COVID
stayed
patients?
open.
No, there was no other people.
Oh, there were 6 people in the total?
6 couples.
Paying customers.
Wow.
6 rooms were occupied by paying customers.
Did they have full staff?
They kept a staff there to service us 6 people. So
Wow.
they had cleaning staff. They had kept the kitchen open, but we couldn't eat. They closed the restaurant. They closed the bar. They came in our room and took out the little bottles of booze because they banned alcohol.
Oh, my word.
So we couldn't have a beer or a glass of wine.
We didn't know we were going to be there 10 months either.
No.
10 months.
10 months we sat in that room.
Did you ever get to go outside?
Very rarely.
Once the hotel arranged a ride to a cash machine because she needed to get some rupees. And they have Amazon there. We ordered a package. So I went outside to get the package. And I got the package. I was going to come back in the lobby. They stopped me and they tested me for my temperature. And I thought, this was a bad idea. If my temperature was high,
They wouldn't have
could
let you
me
in.
back in.
But at that point, if you got COVID during that time we're in the hotel, the hospitals were full. They would put you in an army cot in the parking lot of a hospital, and they'd intubate you and hook you up to the hospital's electricity.
Oh, my
Did you guys ever
word.
get COVID?
Just recently on a ship.
Really?
Yeah, we're okay now. We've
We've been tested.
Tested
That's when we
negative
were
for
on our way
2
to
weeks now.
Southampton.
Yep.
And we tested positive. So then we stayed in Southampton, and then we got kits and we kept testing. And when we tested negative 2 days in a row, that's when we went to
went to where?
when we flew back.
Yeah, we came back.
Not Harwich.
Oh, we went back to Southampton to Gatwick.
Gatwick, and then we flew back just
So we
on
were
the
stuck in a
first.
hotel again, this time having COVID, and waiting till we got negative tests so that we could leave and come here.
And none of this has dampened your enthusiasm for this lifestyle.
No.
People used to ask us, what if something major happened?
Mm-hmm.
In February of 2019, we were in
We're
Marlows
in
Park.
Marlow Park. We love Marlow Park. We've spent about 2.5 years out of the 9.5 years in Marlow Park because we love wildlife because the animals walk right up to the house.
Wow.
They come right up to you. You get up in the morning and there's a dozen zebras standing there looking at you like you
No,
yeah,
really?
or the big
Wow.
giraffes walking down the drive. It's unbelievable.
Cool.
So we love that. We have a lot of friends.
You ever
that
see elephants? I love
Oh,
elephants.
yeah, we see elephants
It's,
all the
it's a
time.
20-minute drive to Crocodile Bridge Gate to Kruger National Park, so we buy a year pass
So
for
it's no
about
wonder we
$300
love
bucks.
it. We love it so much. But anyway, where were we?
You were
February of 2019.
Yeah, February 2019. I'm a fit, energetic, athletic kind of person, and I ended up having to have emergency coronary bypass surgery at a tiny hospital.
Really?
In a
triple
small
bypass.
in a small hospital in South Africa, about an hour and a half from Marlow Park.
Thank God for Dr. Christian Bernard. When we were younger, Joe, he
Yeah.
did the first successful
Right.
heart
So those
transplant in South
heart
Africa.
doctors are pretty good, but I survived. I'm here, and we never missed a beat. When I had that surgery, we ended up having to stay an extra 3 months so I could go on an airplane.
Right.
And we stayed those 3 months, and the 3 months were up. We're back on a plane, and we went to Ireland on the ocean, enjoying life once again.
When you are done with your Nevada visit, you say you're going back to Marlow Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then is that for an extended period? Will you be there?
We can only stay 90 days, and you either have to apply for an extension of 90 days, and you can do that once, or you have to exit, and you can't go to a country that borders South Africa. You got to go to, because they don't want you border hopping, which we've done. We've gone to Livingstone and then returned to South Africa.
How do you think you came about this wanderlust?
Neither one of us had ever cared about travel one way or the other. We're a typical Minnesota family.
You're born and raised in Minnesota, both
Yeah,
of you?
North Minneapolis, 6
I'm
in
from
Plymouth for me.
California, but I've been in Minnesota for 42 years.
I went to, it doesn't exist, St. Joe's grade school
Yeah.
got torn down for 94. Then I went to De La Salle High
be
School.
damned.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Wow.
So we never knew we had the wanderlust, but when he made that statement to me
I wasn't serious.
in
Something
January
clicked.
2012, it's like a light bulb went off
Yeah.
in my head, and I thought, well, that sounds kind of fun.
That sounds kind of
You know what
fun.
that was, Joe? She got permission.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
she got.
Yes, and then next Sunday, I'm reading the paper, watching the TV, and she told me, put the paper down, turn the TV off. When she started talking, I had forgot. I thought, I just got her out of the room last Sunday.
But the funny part of it is I have had this burning desire my whole life to go to Africa because I love animals. And even from the time I was a little kid. So as soon as he said travel the world, I thought, oh, we can go to Africa. He wanted to go through the Panama Canal. That was real important to him.
Did you do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did
first
that
thing.
first. I thought, let's get that out of the way. And get
Yeah,
to
get this out. My CP.
Right.
So I had showed him a picture of a house in Marlow Park.
That when I come home from work one day, I was still working, and she's doing all this research, and there's a warthog in the house, and she says, I don't know where this place is, but I want to go there. And I'm thinking, I don't want to go any place they let a pig in the house.
Right.
But I wanted to experience having a 350-pound pig come in my house.
Is that your favorite place, Marlow Park?
It is mine. He's got other favorites, but
Give me some of your favorites.
Well, we were both in the Southern Hemisphere. We spent 90 days in Tasmania, the Penguin, Tasmania. It's on the northern coast. I fell in love with that, you know. So we're both in the Southern Hemisphere, opposite side of the world. But, you know.
I suppose there's not a place I could mention that you haven't been. Have
Well, there's quite a few, really, because,
you ever been to the Middle East?
yes.
oh yeah, that was a great experience.
What
And we're
countries?
Many countries. We were in Jordan and Egypt and Turkey and United Emirates, Arab Emirates. We went on a cruise in 2013 where we sailed out of Dubai and we went down the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden, which is where they made the movie Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And they had pirate drills on the ship.
Yes.
And we had to go through these
You're
pirate
kidding.
drills, and they closed the curtains at night. And then they had the guys come on the ship with the packages, you know,
Wow.
the black boxes.
Yeah.
They were either UK Royal Marines or the Australian Marines. A little ship came up alongside, and they said the safety package. I assume it was night vision goggles and weapons. And they were on the ship as we went to the Gulf of Aden and we approached Dubai after 3 days. they were out there at night, and you couldn't be out on the outer decks after dark.
But for us, that was so exciting. I mean, something like that, we get so excited. We don't get fearful.
So have you ever been in danger?
Not really. I mean, except for her
Yeah,
heart
I have-
surgery, huh?
No, I don't think so. I think we're very careful.
How long have you been married?
95 we got. We met in
Married.
91 and we got married in 95.
We've been together almost 31 years.
We're a blended family.
So,
He has 2 sons,
Yep.
and I have a daughter and a son.
So the question that everyone wants to know is, you really must like each other.
We do. We like each other a lot.
She don't want me to tell you this. She told me not to tell you this. People ask us, how do you survive
You
in
were
Mumbai?
alone in a hotel room for 10 months.
And we never had a fight. Never had a fight.
Wow.
She won't fight. I'm the youngest of 11. I fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we don't own anything. She don't want me to say that. We don't have a mortgage. We don't have cars. We don't have life insurance on each other anymore because we don't have this big debt that a lot of people have. So I said, she needs my pension check the first of every month. I can sleep every night with both eyes closed because I'm worth more money on the first of the month than if I had $1 million policy. She doesn't like me to say that.
So
Are
have you?
are you essentially burning through, however measured you've done it, your retirement
No,
funding?
not at all. From 42 and a half years on the railroad, he gets a monthly pension.
Right.
So we still have our investments and retirement funds, but we don't touch that. We just live on
You're
the
living
monthly.
off the railroad pension?
So we can
That's
do
funding the traveling?
Funding the traveling, and we can do this until we die.
Wow.
That is truly amazing.
Have
What
you
do
been to
kids
Russia?
think of it? All your
They
blended
think
kids.
we're nuts. They
Yeah.
think we're nuts.
What about Russia? Have you been there? And
Yeah,
where
we
at?
did go to
Well, we
Russia.
went to St. Petersburg in 2019 after she had the surgery, and in July of this year, I've always wanted to do the Black Sea,
Yeah.
and we had a cruise book, and it was supposed to go to the Ukraine and Russia, where the Olympics were. Well, cruise line didn't cancel it; they just changed the itinerary. But that cruise was so expensive. 100% more than the following cruise.
Right.
So we canceled it because they're not going to any of the
countries.
countries in the Black Sea.
And they were doing an itinerary that was about half the cost normally for a cruise that does this other itinerary. So we didn't want to pay that money.
So you never got to Ukraine?
No,
No.
we didn't get to Ukraine.
But you've been in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Right.
Yes, and
What
that
about
was-
Scandinavian countries?
We have a cruise book, August of 2013, that leaves out of Scotland, and it goes up to North.
2013.
August
2023.
1st, 20. What did I say?
What, you said
2023. excuse me.
2023.
And it goes up the west coast to the top end of Sweden
Oh, man.
or Norway, and then comes back.
You're
So-
starting to fill in each other's sentences,
Yeah,
aren't you?
we've been doing that forever. No, we really get along well. And that is a secret to doing this.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get along well, you could not continue. And we don't fight. I'm one of those people that if someone wants to fight with me, I just leave the room.
Yeah.
I don't like
I like that.
confrontation. I don't
Such 10 months in the same hotel. You and the CP.
Oh, I think it would.
10 minutes?
You'd have to. Well, not even that long, but you'd have to. You'd have to really get used to it.
Well,
We
Yeah.
did.
and,
Yeah.
and it was also no alcohol,
Yeah.
no tobacco for 10 months either.
You a smoker?
I'm a smoker, and I started again after those 10 months like an idiot. But no beef, because cows are sacred in India.
man.
Oh,
And the food, we neither of us care for Indian food.
Right.
So he ate chicken penne pasta every night for 8 of the 10 months. And
Oh,
then
my
finally,
God.
and he gained 22 pounds.
Oh,
Every night, you can't eat chicken penne pasta every night.
Tell me this. Prior to this, it was a shot in the dark. He's sitting in the house one day, and you say to him, "You just not going to sit here the rest of your life.
Yeah. Right.
What do you want to do?" And you said, just for the hell of it, let's travel the world. You immediately start researching this.
Yes.
Prior to that, what was your time together like as a working married couple? Were you constantly spending time together?
Yes, pretty much. We loved being together. We do. We're like a
Kenny, what do you think of that?
wow. Wow. Wow.
Well, we had a lake home, so we could fish on the pontoon
Yeah.
and stuff. But sometimes after dinner, we just go sit at the end of the dock. She'd have a glass of wine, I'd have a beer, and just fish off the end of the dock. And one of our dear friends, a neighbor lady, said, "Well, you guys must eat a lot of fish." And Jess says, no, I'm getting Tom away from the TV and we can have a conversation, you know. And then,
Okay, so you brought up the pontoon. How do you deal with the little things? Like when I'm ready to go out on the pontoon, I'm ready right now. And it's always, I'll be there in a second, and it's 30 minutes. How do you get by the little things like that?
well, when it comes to the pontoon, every year we'd need new ropes to tie the cleats to the, you know, dock for the pontoon. I can tie my shoes, and that's the only knot I can tie that will come open. Any other knot I tie, it's there. So she used to come out, and I'd have the new rope. She'd tie it around the dock, crochet knot, and then around the cleat of the pontoon. I can't tie a knot.
But my point is, they're never ready when they say they're going to be ready.
You're meaning wives. You mean.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
always ready ahead
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah.
Way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
always ready on time.
So you're waiting for him. So what's your secret then? I need to learn the secret of patience.
Of patience.
That's
Here's
what
the
I don't
thing.
have.
Here's the thing.
I don't have any patience.
He has no patience. I don't bitch. I don't complain. I'm not late. And I don't fight.
You know what you are?
What?
A miracle.
Yeah, you're one in a million.
No,
One in a
but you know
million.
what? I made a conscious decision to do that because I wanted a happy life and be happy with my husband.
And when we used to fish, she'd put the night crawler on the worm herself, and she'd take the fish off the hook too, which is, you know, kind of an unusual for
I
a
take it-
fingernail broad.
I take it that all got sold, the lake stuff and the
Everything,
boats. and
everything. We have
Everything got
nothing.
sold.
We have
Yeah.
no storage
You have what's in your suitcases.
in our suitcase. We don't even have stuff stored at our kids' houses.
We got
nothing.
3 suitcases. She has one. I have one.
I
and
have
then we-
one suitcase with clothes. I own
Wow.
5 pairs
and that's
of shoes
what you own in life.
in life.
Wow. Okay, so your dream, I have your same dream, but it's scaled way down. I want to spend quality time in every state in the Union. I just want to drive around the United States for at least 2 years. Have you hit every state in the Union?
We
I've-
don't do the U.S.
We haven't,
Not at
Kenny,
all.
yet.
Yeah.
I figure as we get older, I'm 69. Jess is 74. As we get older, the world will shrink.
Right.
And then we'll be doing the U.S. and Europe probably, you know, Canada too, North America. But as we're still can like to travel to South America.
Will you
and
stay
Africa.
with us for one more segment?
absolutely.
You know
have
how,
time?
how we know that she doesn't like to fight? He just revealed her age on a show that reaches 2 million people.
I know.
And I don't know, Such and Reavers, I don't know if you've noticed this, but she can give him silent signals when she
yeah.
needs to
Oh,
shut
I-
A lot of
No,
hands in
no,
there.
no. When
observing
she
it right
needs
here.
him, when she needs him to shut up, she just puts her hand on his arm, and he immediately stops talking. I've never seen anything
Well,
like
that won't
this.
do you guys any good because you don't want to own anything. But